Welcome to Monday Night Raw. We open the show tonight with General Manager Adam Pearce making his way to the ring. Adam Pearce is ripping into Finn Balor from the ring, his anger and frustration boiling over as he blasts Balor for his interference in last week's #1 contender match between CM Punk and Gunther. Adam Pearce's words are laced with disdain as he delivers the news to Finn Balor. Balor will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against both CM Punk and Gunther in a triple threat match at Clash at the Castle.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Fountain, Colorado, weighing in at 214 pounds, representing the Brawling Crew, Tavian Heights.
Tavian Heights is storming down to the ring, his intensity and anger palpable as he sets his sights on Bronson Reed, driven by a burning desire for revenge for last week's brutal attack on his faction mate, Miles Bourne. The crowd is electric, sensing the bad blood between these two competitors, and Heights is clearly fueled by a need to settle the score.
And his opponent. From Black Forest, South Australia, weighing in at 330 pounds, he is Big Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed is making his way to the ring, exuding confidence and aggression as he looks to keep his winning streak alive against another member of the Brawling Crew. The big man is on a roll, and with last week's violent attack on Miles Bourne still fresh in everyone's minds, Reed is clearly looking to assert his dominance over Tavian Heights. The crowd is electric as Bronson Reed bursts into the ring, unleashing a flurry of strikes that Tavian Heights is struggling to keep up with. Heights digs deep, refusing to back down as he launches a counterattack that catches Reed off guard, momentarily shifting the momentum in his favor. Heights is now pushing the pace, testing Reed's resolve and looking to take over the match. Heights is electrifying the crowd with his lightning-quick offense, leaving Bronson Reed reeling as he struggles to keep pace with a blistering tempo. The momentum has dramatically shifted as Reed taps into his raw power, unleashing a physicality that's allowing him to overwhelm Heights. Reed's size and strength advantage is becoming increasingly evident, with Heights looking fatigued as he tries to cope with the bigger man's onslaught. The crowd is sensing a turning point in the match, with Reed's trademark intensity threatening to consume his opponent whole. Reed shows no signs of letting up as he keeps the pressure on Heights. He climbs to the top turnbuckle and crashes down with a massive tsunami onto Heights.
Here is your winner via pinfall, Big Bronson Reed.
Reed has emerged victorious over Heights, and he's not done yet. The big man has retrieved a steel chair and is heading back to the ring, setting up another potentially brutal post-match assault. Just as Reed is about to unleash the steel chair on Heights, a returning Apollo Crews bursts into the ring, sending Reed fleeing, saving Heights from a potentially devastating beating. Crews issues a challenge to Reed for a no disqualification match next week on Raw for the Intercontinental Championship, clearly looking to settle the score. Sol Ruca approaches the ring, microphone in hand, her expression a mix of frustration and disappointment as she begins to speak her mind about Liv Morgan's recent actions, clearly having lost respect for her former idol. Ruca's words cut deep as she expresses her disillusionment with Morgan, detailing how her actions over the past 2 weeks have tarnished the image of a role model Ruca once looked up to. Morgan storms down the ramp with fiery determination in her eyes, unfazed by Sol Ruca's verbal assault, and clearly ready to settle things face to face. Ruca throws down the gauntlet, daring Liv Morgan to face her in an Extreme Rules match next week to finally put this rivalry to rest. Morgan catches Sol off guard with a sudden takedown, accepting the challenge with her action. Morgan stands tall over her rival, proving she's already one step ahead. Braun Breaker has caught up to Xavier Woods backstage, and in a flash, he's unleashing a vicious assault, fueled by anger and a desire for revenge after last week's shocking loss. Breaker's fury is proving too much for Woods to handle, as Breaker slams Woods into various objects and pummels him relentlessly. The big man is clearly driven by a need to settle the score, and Woods is left helpless to absorb the punishment. Damian Priest bursts onto the scene as he launches a fierce attack on Breaker, saving Woods from further punishment and exacting revenge for Breaker's brutal post-match assault on himself. Priest follows up with a thunderous South of Heaven, slamming Breaker hard onto the unforgiving concrete floor, leaving him reeling from the impact.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Dublin, Ireland, she is the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria is making her way to the ring, her confidence and determination evident in every step as she prepares to face the legendary Asuka in a match that could prove her worth as a top contender. Valkyria's actions last week showed she's not afraid to stand up for herself and her fellow competitors, and now she's putting her money where her mouth is against a legend.
And her opponent. From Osaka, Japan, representing Damage Control, she is the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
The legendary Asuka is making her way to the ring as she seeks to exact punishment for the interference that cost her a post-match attack on Thea Hale last week. The atmosphere is electric as Asuka prepares to take on Valkyria in a match that's about more than just winning. It's about asserting her dominance and sending a message. The bell rings and Asuka wastes no time, charging at Lyra Valkyria with fierce precision, unleashing a barrage of strikes that push the challenger onto the defensive. But Lyra Valkyria refuses to back down, meeting Asuka's aggression with fearless resilience. She digs deep, pushing through the onslaught and answering back with sharp, calculated offense. Valkyria begins to shift the momentum, reminding everyone why she holds the championship and proving she belongs in the ring with one of the very best. Asuka regains her footing and fires back with renewed determination, refusing to let Valkyria control the pace for long. The momentum swings wildly as both competitors trade control in a gripping display of skill and willpower. Then, in a pivotal moment, they collide with equal force, leaving both down and motionless in the center of the ring. Thea Hale and Kairi Sane get into a heated confrontation in the ring, their words and body language escalating until the referee has no choice but to eject both women from ringside, adding an extra layer of intensity to the match between Valkyria and Asuka. Despite the chaotic ejection of Hale and Sane from ringside, Valkyria stays laser-focused, showing no signs of distraction. She keeps the pressure on Asuka, maintaining her intensity and refusing to let up for even a moment. Meanwhile, Asuka appears rattled by the loss of her ally, her rhythm disrupted as she tries to regroup under Valkyria's relentless offense. Valkyria doesn't let up, seizing the moment. She picks Asuka up and drives her down onto the mat with the Nightwing. She hooks the leg for the pin, but Asuka shocks everyone by kicking out, keeping the match alive. Valkyria takes a chance with a high-risk move, but it backfires as she comes up empty, crashing hard and opening the door for Asuka. The momentum shifts instantly, and Asuka pounces with ruthless precision, taking full control of the match. Fueled by frustration and pain, she unleashes a relentless assault, determined to make Valkyria pay for every moment she had the upper hand. Valkyria refuses to stay down as she weathers Asuka's storm. She finds her moment, countering with precision, and shifting the tide with a powerful suplex that stuns Asuka. Wasting no time, Valkyria ascends to the top turnbuckle, takes flight, and crashes down with a perfectly executed frog splash.
Here is your winner via pinfall, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria has pulled off a massive upset, defeating the more experienced Asuka with a thrilling display of athleticism and determination, sending a clear message that she's a force to be reckoned with in the women's division.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. Weighing in at a combined weight of 400 pounds, they are the team of Johnny Wrestling Johnny Gargano and Blackheart Tommaso Ciampa, DIY.
DIY makes their way to the ring, embracing the darkness that's been brewing within them as they seek to regain the World Tag Team Championship from the War Raiders. With a fierce determination in their eyes, Gargano and Ciampa are ready to unleash their wrath on Fraxion, a young and talented team that may not stand a chance against the veteran tag team's experience and intensity.
And their opponents. Weighing in at a combined weight of 336 pounds, they are the team of Nathan Frazer and Fraxium.
Fraxiom, the dynamic duo of Nathan Frazer and Axiom, are making their way to the ring, exuding confidence and a sense of purpose as they prepare to face off against the veteran tag team of DIY. With a strong desire to prove themselves, Fraxiom is looking to make a big impact tonight, and a win over DIY would undoubtedly catapult them into the conversation for a tag team championship opportunity. Axiom kicks things off with explosive energy, immediately putting his speed and agility on display. He and Frazer waste no time showing their chemistry, working in perfect sync to keep Ciampa off balance in the early going. Ciampa proves he's not going down that easily, weathering the early storm and creating just enough space to tag in Gargano. The pace shifts as Gargano enters with precision and aggression, targeting Frazer and methodically wearing him down. But Frazer digs deep, showing incredible heart as he battles through the pain, creating separation and tagging in Axiom, who flies in with a burst of energy and connects with a seamless tandem move to shift the momentum once again. Despite the fluid teamwork and relentless effort from Fraxiom, Johnny Gargano taps into that signature fire, turning the tide with sheer will and determination. He zeroes in on Axiom, unleashing a flurry of punishing offense that slows the pace and pulls the momentum back in DIY's favor. With laser focus and veteran intensity, Gargano overwhelms Axiom, reminding everyone why he's one of the most dangerous competitors in the ring. Gargano drills Axiom with the slingshot spear, then immediately turns and sends Frazer crashing to the outside to neutralize the threat. He tags in Ciampa, and together they connect with the devastating meeting in the middle.
Here are your winners via pinfall, DIY.
DIY have emerged victorious in their match against Fraxiom, but their celebration is short-lived as the War Raiders emerge on the ramp. The War Raiders accept DIY's challenge, and in a twist, they have made their World Tag Team Championship match at Clash at the Castle, an Extreme Rules match, setting up what promises to be a chaotic and explosive showdown. The following hardcore match, scheduled for one fall, is for the Hardcore Championship. Ilja Dragunov is storming into the ring, radiating an aura of unpredictability and intensity as he prepares to challenge Ludwig Kaiser for the Hardcore Championship. With a fierce determination in his eyes, Dragunov is ready to unleash his brand of madness and take the title from Kaiser. The imposing figure of Ludwig Kaiser is making his way to the ring, his confidence and intensity palpable as he prepares to defend the Hardcore Championship against the challenger, Ilja Dragunov. Fresh off his title win last week, Kaiser is looking to prove that his victory wasn't a fluke, and he's ready to unleash his hardcore side to retain the championship and prove his dominance. The following hardcore match, scheduled for one fall, is for the Hardcore Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. From Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov. And his opponent, from Hanover, Germany, weighing in at 220 pounds, representing Imperium, he is the Hardcore Champion, Ludwig Kaiser. Ilja Dragunov explodes out of the gate with unrelenting aggression, hammering the champion with strikes as the bell rings. But Ludwig Kaiser quickly regains his footing, digging in with calculated offense to halt Dragunov's early momentum. The momentum swings wildly as both men trade brutal offense, but Kaiser begins to take control with methodical precision, targeting Dragunov's ribs to slow him down. Kaiser asserts his dominance with ruthless efficiency, driving Dragunov through a table with a devastating spear. He slams the battered challenger against the announcer table and sends him crashing to the floor with a pump handle suplex. Kaiser is like a man possessed, hitting a steel chair on Dragunov's head with a sickening thud. He follows up with brutal efficiency, slamming Dragunov headfirst onto a trash can. He then picks up the steel steps and slams the steps down onto his fallen opponent. Dragunov digs deep and turns the tide with a sudden counter, rallying back with a burst of raw intensity. He climbs the ladder for a high-risk leap, but Kaiser intercepts him just in time, trading blows at the top before knocking Dragunov crashing down to the mat below. Kaiser drags Dragunov back into the ring, delivers a sharp snapmare, follows it with a brutal penalty kick. Kaiser then hauls Dragunov up to seal the deal with the landing flicking. Here is your winner via pinfall, and still, hardcore champion, Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser's celebration is cut short as R-Truth bursts into the ring, unleashing a vicious attack with a kendo stick, seeking revenge for the post-match attack he suffered at Kaiser's hands 2 weeks ago. And in a shocking turn of events, Truth issues a title challenge for next week.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Tokyo, Japan, representing Damage Control, she is the Women's World Champion, the Genius of the Sky, Iyo Sky.
Women's World Champion Iyo Sky is strutting down to the ring, her confidence and poise radiating as she prepares to battle against the determined Natalya, with Bianca Belair and Mandy Rose still lingering in the back of her mind. Sky is focused on making a statement as the champion, and she's looking to assert her dominance over Natalya to prove she's the one to beat in the women's division.
And her opponent. From Calgary, Canada, she is the Queen of Hearts, Natalya.
The veteran competitor, Natalya, is making her way to the ring, her determination and focus evident as she prepares to face off against the Women's World Champion, Iyo Sky, in what could be a career-defining moment. With a win over the champion potentially opening the door to a future title shot, Natalya is undoubtedly looking to seize this huge opportunity and prove herself as a legitimate contender. Natalya charges in with fierce determination, landing hard strikes in a bid to catch the champion off guard. But Iyo Sky answers with explosive speed and unrelenting offense, using her agility to turn the tables and take control early. Iyo Sky strings together crisp, high-impact offense, keeping Natalya on the defensive. But the veteran refuses to be outshined, digging deep and grinding Sky down with technical holds and power moves to even the pace. The match turns into a seesaw battle, with neither competitor able to hold control for long as momentum shifts with every exchange. Both Iyo Sky and Natalya dig deep, matching each other's intensity and resilience in a thrilling display of heart and determination. Each near fall draws gasps from the crowd, who are fully invested in the non-stop action. It's a showcase of skill, toughness, and pride as both women push themselves to the limit. Sky digs deep, determined to show the world why she wears the gold, and takes back control with fierce precision. She lifts Natalya onto the top turnbuckle, climbs up with her, and delivers a devastating avalanche Spanish fly that leaves the ring shaking. Sky wastes no time scaling the ropes and leaps off to hit a picture-perfect over the moonsault.
Here is your winner via pinfall, the Genius of the Sky, Iyo Sky.
Iyo Sky has emerged victorious in her match against Natalya. The celebration is short-lived as Bianca Belair storms the ring, payback in her eyes for Sky's attack on her last week. But Sky manages to fight back and send Belair crashing to the floor outside the ring. Now, with the microphone in hand, Sky is addressing the women's division and expressing her frustration with the disrespect she's received. In a bold move to assert her dominance, Sky announces that she'll be defending her title against both Bianca Belair and Mandy Rose at Clash at the Castle, setting up a highly anticipated triple threat match. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you like this video.